Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name's Amelia and here on this channel we talk about writing, journaling, and productivity to help you curate a life that you love. So for today I wanted to talk about journaling for self-discovery. I've talked about journaling for mental health and for manifestation in the past, and I think that both of those journaling activities can be further expounded on with the help of self-discovery. A lot of people use journaling as a tool for healing and, coming to terms with their thoughts and organizing their attitudes about certain events and circumstances within their lives, but they also use journaling as a tool for discovering themselves, and that is what I wanted to talk about today. So before we get into this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up if you like it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to see more journaling tips and journaling content like this. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. So the first thing I wanted to cover when it comes to journaling for self-discovery is why do it? I think that this is very similar to the whole why should I start journaling kind of question, argument. I don't know how I would word that. And so a lot of these things that I'm going to say are going to be very similar to why I encourage people to begin journaling. So if you've seen my videos about journaling tips for beginners or my video on benefits of journaling, these things might sound very familiar, but I'm going to try to bring it back to you as a person and how journaling can help you personally grow, enter your personal development, self-improvement, all that good stuff. So the first reason that I think that you should journal for self-discovery is because you'll feel a greater sense of purpose once you begin doing it. If you have followed me for quite a while, I used to post a lot of videos about personal development, personal growth, and I was kind of torn when it came to how the community approached a lot of things, and over time I was struggling to feel as if I was personally growing. It wasn't until I got into journaling that I really discovered what personal growth meant for me, and I think a big reason for that is because journaling highlighted my purpose. Now, when I say it highlighted my purpose, this gets kind of strange because I personally don't believe that people only have one purpose in life. I think that you are a complex being and therefore you have multiple purposes. You have multiple things that you're trying to achieve or ways that you influence others. Just there's so much to one person. But when I say that journaling for self-discovery has given me a greater sense of purpose, what I mean by that is in doing so, I have been able to align myself with my core values and kind of step into my higher self, if you will. In journaling, I have come to realize that the things that I value include being there for my friends, helping others online with their own paths through journaling for personal development, and just expressing myself as a writer. Those are things that matter to me. And through journaling, I have found that those are the things that I hold valuable and the things that I want to work towards when it comes to just life in general. When you journal for self-discovery, you tend to come across patterns and you repeat yourself quite a bit, and if you can go back and catch those repetitions, you'll begin to understand what your sense of purpose and fulfillment really is, and I think that's really where I wanted to go with this particular reason on why you should begin journaling for self-discovery. The next reason that you should do it is kind of similar to the first, and it is that doing so will help you better define your goals. As I mentioned, journaling has helped me to discover my purpose or the things that I care about, but journaling for self-discovery can also help you to determine what your goals are and really define them. If you watched my journaling for manifestation video, one of the main questions for doing that kind of journaling is to ask yourself what it is you want to manifest, and that would essentially be your goal. Once you have your goal defined, you can begin making a step-by-step plan on how to achieve it. And everyone has goals, big or small. We all have something that we want to achieve, whether it be personal, financial, educational, or even a goal that is related to how we might serve others. And journaling helps you better define your goal and work towards it to create habits and systems that allow you to reach the things that you desire. Alright, and perhaps my favorite reason for journaling for self-discovery is that it teaches you how to love yourself. I personally have struggled quite a bit when it comes to self-love, and I think a lot of us struggle with that. And most of that just stems from hearing negative talk or seeing others doing well or achieving the things that we want to achieve, or being on social media for too long. Social media is both a blessing and a curse. But when we're fighting with ourselves and really nitpicking and critiquing the things that we do, we tend to lose sight of our purpose, of the goals we want, and we lose sight of just who we are. And journaling for self-discovery has taught me, at least, how to love myself better. I learned my love language, I learned my learning style, and all of these other amazing things about me. And if you want to do the same, I do have a video on that I can link below. It's like 5 personality tests that you need to take for yourself. Totally separate from journaling, I know, but doing those things and journaling about it has helped me to better understand me. So I definitely encourage you to at least begin journaling to kind of come back to you and to show yourself some love and some understanding when maybe you feel like the world's against you or that you might be against yourself. It's just a really fun and gentle thing to do, and that's one of the main reasons why I love journaling. Okay, so now that we've talked about why you should journal for self-discovery, we should probably get on to how you can go about doing it. One of the best ways to begin journaling for self-discovery is to use guided prompts. I know, I talk about it in every single video, but guided prompts are beyond helpful. If you're in need of some guided prompts for self-discovery specifically, I will leave a link in the description box below to an infographic on my blog, which has a bunch of journal prompts specifically for self-discovery and self-reflection and all that good stuff. It's a whole page of journal prompts, so you can pick the ones that you want to write about and use those as a way to guide yourself into this journey of self-discovery, more or less. Aside from guided prompts, because I personally, that is the best way, I think, for beginning on this path of self-discovery, I think you can also just ask yourself the get to know you questions. So by this, I mean questions kind of similar to like, what's your favorite color and what's your favorite food, but a bit more personal. So like, what's the happiest memory you have of your mom? Or what was the moment like when you realized that you wanted to embark on this goal? For me, I could say, what was it like in the moment when I decided to publish my poetry book? Or why did I decide to do so? Since everybody has a different story, the questions will have to be kind of tweaked a little bit to accommodate your life and your story, but asking yourself these get to know you questions are very beneficial. If you don't know where to start, you could always look towards your best friend or your parents and ask them to ask you a question they've always wanted to ask you, or to pick something very personal and meaningful as far as questions go, and then try to answer it. You don't have to answer to them specifically, but at least ask yourself and then answer that in your journal. I just find that these kinds of questions about like, why did I do something? What was my best memory of such and such person or such and such event has really helped me figure out who I am and feel closer to myself, my sense of purpose, and all of that stuff. The other way that you can go about journaling for self-discovery is to simply write about your interests. And I know that this sounds kind of strange, but I'm being honest. Write about the things that excite you, that you are interested in, and describe to yourself why. And if you're having trouble talking to yourself via a journal, that's okay, I get it. You can always pretend that you're writing to someone else. Pick a friend, a family member, or pretend that you are giving a speech or a TED Talk to someone and explain why you are interested in whatever you're interested in. You don't actually have to share whatever you write with anyone unless you want to, of course, but pretending that you're writing to someone else, explaining how you feel about a certain topic, why you're interested in it, and how it motivates you as a person has really helped me specifically to understand who I am, I feel like I keep saying that, and what I intend to do going forward. It's a great tool for personal growth and personal development, so definitely recommend that you guys try it out if you're interested in, learning more about yourself, and if you're looking for direction or purpose or just something to make you feel more fulfilled in life. So the last thing I wanted to talk about when it comes to journaling for self-discovery is that a lot of it happens in the self-reflection stage. You've probably heard from some of my other videos about how journaling is mostly about the writing, but there is like maybe 25-30% of its worth lies in rereading what you wrote. And this could be rereading right after you've written it or rereading at a later date, depending on what you wrote and how it will impact you. Personally, I like to go back and see certain entries where I described my day, anything that was bothering me, or entries about what I wanted to be, what I wanted to accomplish, and see how I've changed. This is specifically helpful if you have at least 6 months of time between one journal entry and another, because then you can go back and see the differences between them. I love going back and seeing changes between 6 months ago and a year ago when it comes to me as a person, and that is one of my favorite things to do with journaling. I think that this self-reflection stage is vital to your personal growth. Without it, you're unable to really see who you are and what you're trying to tell yourself. Whatever subconscious thoughts, whatever messages your higher self wants to give you, go unnoticed if you don't go back and reread your entries. So I definitely recommend that you do that in time, of course, but you can also just reread them like a week later or even a couple hours later, just to see what you wrote and try to figure out why you wrote it and why it holds so much meaning to you. Alright, that was kind of a brief video, but that is all I have for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed it and found some insight with this topic. I could probably go more in depth, but I would need more research. So if you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments if you want to see something like this in the future. So, without further ado, I will go ahead and catch you next time.